Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Devil's Dealers, our Blades in the Dark show here. Last time we saw our group of scoundrels make a few deals. They largely went well. Nobody died. Everything went about as well as could be expected. Anyway, I'm 𝔗𝔢, he, him. I will once again be the game master for this session, and we're going to see what they do after their first big score.
Hey, I'm Taylor, aka Spunky Taylor. I'll be playing Wilma, the spider. Very excited to see what we have this session.
Hi, my name is 𝔗𝔢. You can find me on Twitter at 𝔗𝔢_𝔇𝔢 or on Instagram at Natalie Bone and Parts. Tonight I will be playing Annalise, your hound.
Hello, everybody. I am Keon. I go by Brother Keon across all of the internets. I am going to be playing Andre, a whisper duty bound by horror and Twilight.
And I am Sean. I use he, him, go by help action needed all across the internet. And today I'll be playing 𝔗𝔢, your sensual slide.
Right. So when we last left you, like I said, you had just completed your first big score. Some of you were a bit stressed out after that. Some of you less so. Yeah, I didn't mean you as a player, I meant your characters. But what we're going to move into now is downtime. There is this whole flow of play system in Blades in the Dark, which means that you move from free play to engagement to a score and then into downtime. At least that's the diagram. In reality, it often just goes back and forth between the two, between the different ones. Like, often free play moves very organically into a score, and we just kind of figure out that, oh yeah, we probably should do an engagement roll or something like that. But we are starting our session specifically for downtime. And little note for the viewers, there are some things about payoff and so on that we've done behind the scenes for now, mainly because they don't matter mechanically yet. And we have a lot of different things to explain anyway, so we're just going to push that back a little bit before we go over the mechanical implications there. And instead, we're going to move right into downtime activities. So every one of you gets 2 of those. And you can spend them however you like on a variety of different things. You can also purchase an additional downtime action at the cost of a coin or your crew's reputation, which I wouldn't recommend. So downtime activities come in the form of acquiring assets, long-term projects, recovery. You don't need that, you're not wounded. Reducing heat, also probably don't need that. Training, or indulging your vice. Give you a little bit of time to think about what you'd like to do. But first, it's been a few days since you went on your first score. We are returning once more to the Luminous, which is, let's say it has just opened. Well, how do you get things ready for the night?
get things ready for the night. You know, you get the common checklists of things like setting up the tables, make sure Centrale's away from the girls for like that purposes, for like we don't know a stash, inventory check, making sure everyone has a good time.
Citra, are you away from the girls?
If it's the start of the night, yeah. There's always time to call them over a walk, but we gotta get somewhere before we get anywhere.
So where is Citra then?
I think Citrell's behind the bar, making sure it's all set up, making sure, knowing the days who the normal people that come in are, so bringing forward the liquors and the cores that are needed for their favorite drinks so that they never have to wait too long and continue to keep coming back to him, and then any other setup Wilma would need on the front house of the establishment.
Yeah. Speaking of the people that would come in, it's the usual day for a certain Lord Franco Hennessy to come by, who has become a bit of a regular in the past 2 weeks or so. And it's about his time to arrive. He doesn't really keep much of a schedule, but usually he arrives early and leaves kind of early before it gets really packed. Doesn't want to be seen among the wrong people, and also doesn't want to be blackmailed or anything, probably. But hey. Lee, are you still waiting outside, or is the place not open yet?
Still waiting outside. That's her position. That is her spot. She takes her work seriously. Well, why am I going inside to fraternize?
Yeah, why would you ever do that? Honestly, yeah. So it's a time when only a few select people come your way here. Often people that are delivering things to the luminous. So a time of relative peace and quiet. How are you viewing this whole operation that you're now, despite your claims to the contrary, a part of expanding?
She's not a fan. She is not a fan. Lee has very strong moral convictions. She views this as beneath her, but because essentially anyone that served in the war was just spat out, essentially, this is what she has to resort to. She almost feels dirty for the fact that she is assisting in this.
You're still here.
Until new work comes around, I guess I am.
So how seriously have you explored other avenues?
Is this out of character or in character?
Oh, that's in character.
Okay. I had to make sure I could get my answer right. Okay, sorry. You know how it is, especially with people of my background. Women aren't worth shit. And no one wants to marry someone who spawned fucking war. They want someone more docile. So that kind of leaves very few options left open for me, as you can probably imagine.
Right, but you are part of the aristocracy, aren't you?
Hmm?
You are originally coming from, you know, the upper class.
I am.
Nobody there that could get you out of this at all?
Maybe someone, but right now everyone kind of just looks at me with pity. I despise that.
On that note, Lord Hennessy approaches with 2 middle-aged women at his side, still about like 20 years younger than him. Hello, Lee. How's the day
Evening.
treat?
Afternoon. Well enough, how is your day going?
Well, I think I'm getting closer to a breakthrough I've been working towards, even with these old gout-ridden hands. I think I still have one big last work left in me.
How lovely.
It
I'm sure your endeavors will be
is.
successful.
Well, I might die first, but sure. You got anything you're doing besides working here?
Not necessarily as of the moment. Any reason why?
Well, forgive me if I'm a bit forward here, but a little bit of art can heal the wounded soul.
Not necessarily. Depends on how you view healing, but if it works for you, who am I to judge?
Right. Yes. Well, yeah, so I'll come inside.
Lee
You don't
just
mind?
move. Yeah,
Yeah.
Lee just moves out of the way.
Need to get my fix, I suppose, so those hands don't start shaking again.
Lee doesn't say anything. He would have already known her general disposition.
Yeah. You can come in and join us at some point. I'm sure you have a lot to say, but
And no one would like to hear it. So I'd
Mm.
rather just stay here.
right, well, suit yourself then.
Enjoy your
And
visit.
he disappears inside. So, Andre,
Yes.
one of your big customers just moved in upstairs. Things are going pretty well. You're selling at the fight ring, you're selling to an increasing clientele of nobles that are slumming it, and also artists that come by. A lot of them have actually moved into night market in recent times, so that's a good market for you.
Course.
Remind me again, what's the key ingredient of Twilight?
I wouldn't say the key ingredient, but without it, it just doesn't work the same. Ectoplasm would definitely be that.
Which,
Not many know that though.
yeah, it's something you should probably keep a trade secret.
Mhm.
That's, well, ectoplasm has a few sources. The blood of demons, including the enormous leviathans in the seas, or ghosts. Both not really things that are easily acquired, even with certain connections. So how are you keeping up with your burgeoning demand?
Since demand has gotten a lot more recently, it's been a lot harder. Most of the time, Andre would leave it up to Astarte to like say, hey, if you're looking for something, you should probably go here or anything like that. or he has had a large stock before, which is currently starting to run dry.
Yeah, and you're definitely noticing, I think, that as you prepare the batch for the night,
Mm-hmm.
you're running low. Probably need to address that at some point.
Oh, I don't want to tell Wilma that we're running low. It's my job to keep up on the stock. But I think sooner or later she's going to find out, and it would be better that I told her than she come down here and look for herself.
Better that way than not being able to produce anymore, right?
Exactly. So he's going to go upstairs and see that Lord Hennessy is here, and see 𝔤𝔤, see Wilma over there as well, and kind of wonder where Lee is. And then remember, it's Lee. So Lee is, of course, not anywhere to be found. And then would just float his way over to the bar. Hello. How are things going? Lord Hennessy, it's lovely to see you again.
Lovely to see you too. Yes, I'm delighted to say, honestly, that with your help, he smiles, and you see just a shimmer of green on his lips.
Oh,
I
you're
am
looking better every
finally,
day.
well, I'm probably not getting better underneath it all, but I am feeling better for now. It is really quite impressive that when you get over the initial sensation of looking into the beyond, you just wonder, really.
It's really
Boy,
good
have
for
you
the mind.
ever seen the old tapestries or read any of the old scriptures from the time before the cataclysm?
Of course. My mother used to read them to me as somewhat of a bedtime story. They were beautiful stories.
It's just stories now, but there really was a time when people could just go anywhere and weren't confined by these buzzing walls all around the city.
It does sound lovely.
Nowadays, the only time we go anywhere really is when we send our soldiers off to war somewhere.
I wish we didn't have to send them off to war as much, especially when they come back not as they were before.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he kind of looks towards the door, thinking about Lee.
His look just follows yours and nods.
Hmm.
36 years that war lasted, seen.
Were you ever a part of it?
I was not a part of it, no. I could have been. I saw so many people around me just sign up, waving their flags.
Hmm.
Even though they were all commissioned officers, they were all noble. They didn't come back the same.
Yeah. Now, my lord, I know you didn't come here just to reminisce.
Why not?
You know that's not what you're here for.
Well, I came here to stock up.
Mm-hmm.
Might even have a larger commission for you in the future when I unveil my great work.
Oh, really?
Really, yes.
And when will that be? And he kind of goes behind the bar to kind of start picking up a couple of the files for him.
Can't rush art, but I'm getting close. I can feel it.
Mm-hmm.
Weeks only, maybe.
I would love to see it first, if you're ever so kind.
You could see it. I would love for you to be the suppliers of at least food and drink.
Of course.
Then he looks over to the stage.
Or
Perhaps
entertainment.
even entertainment, not the
Yes.
usual for a bunch of pampered nobles, but I would like to see their reactions to your dancers.
Oh no, they would have a blast. I'm sure they would have enjoyed their time here. Also, perchance, do you know if there are any people there that may dibble and dabble in the ectoplasm? It's nothing
I'm not
crazy.
that old yet. I don't know any ghosts personally.
I'm not asking for ghosts, sir. But it's just talking about home. My mother used to use ectoplasm in certain remedies and made things.
Certain remedies.
Mhm. We have there's a person who comes around often and they are not in the best of sorts. And I think one of those remedies might be able to help them. I just want to do my best.
I don't know anybody personally who would deal in that, but one were to acquire ectoplasm right now, I'm sure you've heard of the Fairweather, the ship that they quarantined at the docks.
I've heard very few things about it, but do tell.
Oh, it's owned by old acquaintances of mine, the Salazars. Another noble house you might have heard of, but, well, it's a Leviathan hunter, calling it the Fairweathers. Typical bit of Salazar humor. And it came back mostly empty, as I understand it, with not the usual amount of crew. And the two people that made it off the ship were just shuttled off somewhere. Something must have gone wrong, but the ship's at the harbor and probably full of Leviathan blood. Of course, you would have to enter a Leviathan hunter that's guarded around the clock, so I'm sure that's not a very helpful thing to say to you.
Lord Hennessy, I know you are not implying for us to steal from your dear friend.
I am very much implying that you don't do that, no.
Okay, making sure.
Not because it's my dear friend. They could live without it. They've probably already written it off. I'm just saying it would be quite dangerous to do that for you.
True, true.
But if you keep your ears open for any spoils from that, if somebody does do it, maybe in the future you get the opportunity to buy some of that.
I like the way you think, and this is why you have stayed in your station for so long, my lord. These are yours, and I slide him the Twilight.
Thank you very much. And by the way, I really mean it would be incredibly dangerous to go there.
Absolutely. No one in their right mind would steal from a Leviathan hunter. And I am quite in my right mind.
Yep. And he pockets his Twilight and rejoins his two companions at a table. And the night goes as it goes. So you have a first potential lead.
Yep.
little dangerous.
Just a wee bit.
I don't know for 𝔤𝔤, did you talk to Lord Hennessy before that?
Yeah, as he was standing there and we were waiting for the delivery, would have been making small talk with
Right.
him.
So just so you know, with your ability to spot any lie, he really does mean it. It's extremely dangerous, but he also get the impression that he's dropping hints about the story here and there
Mm-hmm.
because he
Well-
doesn't really like the Salazars.
Well, Lord Hennessy, well, we're all in various stages of being in the right mind. We can watch out for it, but we would never approach, and especially not to cause any harm to a family we all care so deeply for. But thank you for giving us a lead.
Very deeply, yes.
Mm-hmm. Then,
So-
just to Andre, you know, I'm not always in the right mind, but it sounds like fun.
I too am not always in my right mind. I just had to let him feel that way. And I think it would be thrilling to rob a Leviathan hunter.
And also, look how good we did last time.
Exactly. What can
Surely
go wrong?
nothing can go. Yeah, exactly. We
See?
did good last time. We'll do better this time. That's how this works, right? We get better each time.
Absolutely.
I think we should tell the others about this and see if they're up for it.
I would love that idea. And I think Lee actually might enjoy this endeavor.
This seems like something Lee would be right on top of. There's really no one in here, right?
It's like a couple people, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
I think with that, 𝔤𝔤 would step out from behind the bar to go talk with Lee. Not to distract you from your job. Just we have something we think you would find a lot of fun. I can tell you it now, or I could tell you it later. I don't want to impose, as I know. I'm a little on your hit list right now, as it may be.
If I was mad at you, you would know. What do you want?
Oh, I would very much know. How do you feel about robbing a quarantined ship?
How do I feel about theft? Not that happy about it.
What if it was theft from Lord Salazar?
Ooh.
Question for the ST.
Mhm.
Because Lee was a noble, but like,
Yeah.
would her morals win out, or is it just like I have a job to do? Fuck.
I don't know how I'm supposed to answer that. So I can give you some information about how the setup usually is with Leviathan hunters. Leviathan hunters are huge steamships that are
I would appreciate that. Thank you.
yeah. Leviathan hunters are huge steamships, you would know that are mostly commissioned and owned by nobles and are the main source of prestige and also income for a lot of them, because a lot of things that are used around the city run on plasm or ectoplasm that can, well, not most easily, it's actually incredibly dangerous, but can in the highest quantities be gotten from Leviathan blood. So to cross a noble here, that means like you are directly attacking their source of income and also pride.
I was a noble at one point. Damn.
But I don't know what the relationship between your family and the Salazars is. It's for you to decide.
Okay. Damn, that's rough. Uh, I'm just going to go for the easiest answer right now and just say Lee's going to stay silent just because this is a job. So she's just trying to dissociate right now. Thank you.
Well, just thought from one ex-noble to another, it would be a fun way to bond, and he'll head back in.
You were a
Lee's
noble?
going to like start digging through her pockets to, like, because like she is stressed. She's just like, fuck. She's just like, I can't beat the piss out of someone now. I need a cigarette.
Was that something Andre would have asked us?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, did you not know?
No. I
My
thought,
family is one of the highest ranking over in 𝔗𝔢𝔳. But I got
Huh.
bored, and I left. Now I'm here.
interesting. I love that.
Me too. It's fun. And isn't life about being fun?
Absolutely. I wish Lee would realize that.
She'll come around in her own way, in her own time, I'm sure. Did you tell Wilma about our news?
I have not. I was waiting for you because you're better with words, and I also have a little bit of bad news to give Wilma.
Should you go first, or should I?
Soften the blow for me, please.
Will do. Wilma, how do you feel about robbing a ship?
Robbing a what?
A ship? It's apparently moored over on the riverbank or a beach somewhere. It's probably going to get someone killed, but as long as it's not us, there's a huge reward.
Okay. Who owns the ship? And where did this come from?
Lord Salazar and Lord Hennessy, who doesn't really seem to want us to get injured, but definitely wants us to take the Lord Salazar down a peg or two.
Do we know what the reward is?
As much Leviathan blood as we need.
And I think that would help the other issue that we are having because we are running a little low on ectoplasm.
We're running low.
Point of order. I did not know this. This is not between me. So will step back.
Just heard slowly like we're running low.
Yes. We have had an uptick in production. And ever since then, I've been very busy and running out of the product.
Did you go about the checklist?
I did.
Mm-hmm.
Each step.
Each step?
All 77 of them.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And our expectations here?
Mm-hmm.
We start running low.
This is why I'm talking now.
I know. But you're supposed to give us a heads up. Because you just suddenly got low just today, or have you noticed a slow decrease?
I thought I had another.
You thought.
I thought. I did.
Mm-hmm.
So are we going to keep reminiscing on the problem or look for the solution?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
We will take care of that afterwards. Let's focus on Lord Hennessy right now. It's like, we think that we're prepared for the mission. I would like some fun now after some news. I think we should do it.
Okay. Andre has left the situation, is there? And as he's walking away,
you just feel cold daggers in the back of your head.
As you're walking away, you can also hear, yeah, next time the news that needs to be broken is that bad, I'd appreciate a heads up. Just letting you know.
I'm so sorry. I
So
promise there will not be a next time.
well, no. That's not the best news.
Mm-hmm.
Also, a Leviathan Hunter is bad news in itself.
Yeah.
Would you say that you are usually the one that kind of takes care of the business side of things here?
I would say so, unless somebody else is trying to chime in on that. But
I don't do inventory, clearly.
Can't even read a checklist.
So let's look back to the time when you actually acquired this speakeasy.
Mm-hmm.
You gained it with the help of Magistrate Troy. who has some designs here. But you learned later that you acquiring this place kind of offended another group
Just
called the 𝔗𝔤𝔤 sisters. The 𝔗𝔤𝔤 sisters, as you know now, are supposedly an order of nuns, mostly housebound, mostly working as, well, chemists or, well, sometimes even surgeons, apothecaries, all of that. But there's something else that you know and have learned very quickly about the underworld here, which is that, you know, in night market, most people have front and then another little business that they got going on the side. And the 𝔗𝔤𝔤 sisters, although you don't know details, seem to be pretty big in the trade of spiritual essences, or just spirits themselves, like captured ghosts, and might have something that if you barter for it, they don't really like you or take it from them, could remedy your problem with ectoplasm supply as well.
I think thinking about the ectoplasm supply, I think she will like probably vent at Lee about it. Lee has a better head on the shoulder than the rest at now, as she talks about this and talks about the decisions of the hunter and like should she barter with the 𝔗𝔤𝔤 sister, or should we just rob them? Basically, what woman would be venting at Lee if Lee wanted to even answer back at all. Oh, I just know like a woman's just been talking to Lee about that stuff. I didn't know.
I'm like, are they here now? I mean, what would I like in general like know about them other than what you said? Like, would I like I don't know, like are my interactions with them in general just piss poor?
Who do you mean?
Like clearly we like as a group we are not on good terms with them, but like I'm
with the
trying
𝔗𝔤𝔤
to like
sisters, or
yeah.
oh, okay. Well, I've kind of given you all I'm just going to give you. We're going to move into downtime activities where you can also, during downtime and just general play, you can also gather information about the 𝔗𝔤𝔤 sisters or the Leviathan hunter that's moored there. So you don't necessarily need to make a decision right now. I think could definitely share what Lee's opinion right now is.
I think I'm going to have to go for more information on the sisters, on the nuns, just because I feel like Lee has more reservations about everything that's going on with the Leviathan stuff. Does that make sense? I don't know.
That makes sense.
So with that, I think it makes sense to actually move into downtime activities, because now you have at least 2 options to get supply. One of them could lead to a gang war. The other could lead to you crossing the Leviathan Hunters as an organization and a noble house along with it. You know, but you have options. And you can also, of course, come up with your own plans. I just put a few things in front of you that are interesting to me. But yeah, downtime activities. Everybody has 2. Does anybody know one that they would pursue for certain?
ஸᴜ, I know one of his at least.
Mm-hmm.
So ever since using his power to try and calm the person, there's been something that happened. He's not sure why, but there's something that now calls him to a spot in Night Market, and the more he ignores it, the more his body seems to be wanting to take him there. So I'm going to try and indulge my vice, which is weird, and understand a bit more about himself to lower my stress.
All right. How exactly do you indulge this vice?
I think he goes to whichever spot it's calling, which for right now, the spot is a small broken down shrine that once was to some sort of entity he's not quite sure, could probably ask Andre about it. And he's going to sit and try and meditate on it and see if anything comes to him or if he feels any somatic change in his body or mind.
Mm-hmm. So let's say that shrine. Is anybody else there?
It's clearly well maintained by someone. And in the, if we're looking mechanically, the playbook says that there's a priestess for it, but I think when ஸᴜ goes, he tries to go and no one else is there.
Okay, yeah. So you don't actually know what you're getting into. You just know that you're being called there.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So indulging your vice means you can clear your stress. You've got a little bit after a desperate roll and a teamwork roll last session. But you may also overindulge.
Mm-hmm.
Thing this works is you roll your lowest attribute roll.
Mm-hmm.
What is that for you?
For me, that is insight.
Kind of makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
So give me an insight roll then.
Okay. No modifiers, no notes. Okay, got a 2. Could have been much worse.
Yeah. You are going to clear 2 stress and don't overindulge.
So I think it's just after a while of sitting there, the feeling doesn't fade, but he feels like less of that magnetic pull, and he sits up and goes, well, whatever you want from me, I'm sure I'll learn in due time, and makes his way back to his position.
Before you make your way back,
Mm-hmm.
you just sit there in kind of quiet contemplation. Do you look at the shrine a little bit more?
He's, as much as he's trying to sit in quiet contemplation, he's too distracted of a human to not glance around, and definitely would spend some time staring at the shrine.
Right. Well, you would notice that, well, it is kind of a regular shrine. There seem to be some elements of it, some decorations that are made out of obsidian.
Mm-hmm.
That's all that I'm really going to give you because you didn't overindulge, so nothing really happens.
Good to know. I think. Would I have to pass the obsidian statue on the way back? Just give a nice look to the other thing I know of.
You could do that.
Feels perfectly fine. Nothing's wrong. Everything's fine.
Yeah, sure. Are you going to do anything there? Perhaps is that going to lead into another downtime activity?
Well, I think the other downtime he would try and do could be led into that, which is he wants to try and train up a bit more to understand this. And so maybe less reflection and more trying to actually like study or look into these obsidians that keep appearing around town and try and understand what obsidian has to do with why he's being called somewhere and try and train himself a bit with that.
Mhm.
And then for train, we roll for that, correct?
For training,
Oh no,
you just
just take a point.
do it. Yeah.
Cool. And I'm going to put that in my special ability. As he's just kind of trying to gather more about why this town specifically is where he ended up and why something inside of him is trying to get him somewhere.
Mhm.
Okay.
Wow. Anything in particular you would
I think
try to find out? Anybody in particular you would ask about that, maybe?
I don't think he knows enough to particularly ask, so either wait one day for the Shrine Maiden to appear, or see if there's any constellations. He knows it's the night market. He knows it was a
Okay.
festival to the goddess, the Lady of Night, and he knows that he himself has stars all over his body. So there has to be something somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right. We'll get to that in a bit. Yeah. Since we started with vice, anybody else who would like to indulge theirs?
No, I think I'm okay.
Hmm.
I'll rock with my 2 stress for now.
Okay. Velma is at 0 stress, and
Yeah, it's like I don't think
yeah,
she
Lee is-
she's not that stressed. Like
Yeah.
character wise, she's stressed, but not on the sheet.
yeah.
Actually, Andre would like to just go place a bet to try and reduce a little.
You know that you can overindulge if you roll too high.
Hold on. What would too high be for him? More than a 2?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so yeah, he's just gonna relax.
Okay.
I would rather train than deal with my vice right now.
And how about Lee was at 4 stress?
Yeah, it's not looking good. I only have 4 dots left before something really bad happens. Put me into the ring, coach.
Okay, yeah. Right, so are you going back to Reen's technically hound racing track?
I think I'm banned from there, technically, or at least banned from
Kind of.
stepping into the ring.
Not
I mean, you
anymore.
have a business relationship now.
Yeah, but go to another one. Go to another.
Okay, where do you go then?
I would probably go to one that's a bit more isolated, a bit more low key, like doesn't have like a big audience. Because at this point, Lee's just trying to like preserve whatever dignity she has, get her shit done with so she can like let off some steam and then act like nothing happened.
Does that mean you go to another district away from Night Market?
Oh, there's only one in the district.
I don't know. I mean, I'm leaving the infrastructure of illegal fight rings up to you here.
Oh wow, bless. I never knew I would get into housing and districting in my life. Um, I would probably say I would go to one that like is still in the district, but we don't necessarily have a relationship with.
Right. Yeah, maybe close to the rail station. Sometimes like somewhere in the warehouses, something pops up. Pretty low stakes gambling, but still enough violence.
Give me something to break.
Yeah, sure. Let's see how successfully you break things.
Oh no.
And
Oh
what's
no.
I think, what's your lowest attribute again?
I mean, I got a lot of low attributes, dog. I don't want to front.
No, attributes are not your actions. Attributes are insight, prowess, and resolve.
Oh, resolve. I have nothing in resolve.
Then that's what you roll.
Oh, bless, love,
Yeah.
pain. Come on, come on.
Well, okay.
Pain. Where?
So the rules here actually specifically state that you clear stress equal to your highest die result, but I think because you roll 0 dice, that still means that only the 1 is retained, so you clear a stress.
Yay! We didn't beat the guy to death.
Right. Yeah, how does that look like? You're in this warehouse. There are not 200 people here. It's probably more like 15. A lot of rail station workers, construction workers. And then this veteran walks in. Are you still in your kind of noble getup, or do you try to fit in more?
I feel like we just because like this is with like any fight she would probably be in like an undershirt or a wife beater of some kind, some like loose trousers and like combat boots.
And do you win or lose more here? What gives you more stress relief, actually?
More stress relief. This is going to make my character sound even worse than she is. More stress relief is when she is pummeling someone into the ground.
All right. So things aren't going well here for you then. You're losing a bit more. Or at least you're not getting your opponents down like you did that poor person in the fighting ring at the hound racing track. At some point, one of the workers that run this ring there just kind of takes you, hey, you new to this?
I think that hurts her fucking ego.
I mean, haven't seen you around a lot.
Because I typically don't have the time to myself.
Right, but you got some moves that you just keep at it, you get there.
Thanks for the encouragement.
Oh, always, always. And he extends a huge bear-like really hand to you, inviting you to shake it.
Still shake it. Yeah, like she's upset, but she's like, I can rein myself in more so to the fact to not beat up some random guy who's trying to be
Yeah.
nice.
Right, yeah. Name's Walter. If you come here again, like I can, we can spar sometimes, maybe.
Sounds like a good idea, Walter. When does this typically happen?
Oh, usually just whenever the construction's halted here. Well, I
I'll
can,
keep.
if we know where to find you, I can send somebody to fetch you.
We don't have phones in this time period. Do we have telegraph?
I guess technically you don't, because it would have to go through the ghost lands.
Oh, damn it. Fuck. Hmm.
I feel like no, you probably
Fuck.
don't.
Do I have a like even if it's just like a ramshackle shed, do I have a place that I live when I'm not working?
That's up to you.
May I please have a ramshackle shed where I live where I'm
Sure, you
not
can have
working?
a ramshackle shed somewhere on the
Thank you
outskirts of
so
Night Market.
That was so fucking nice. Thank you. I finally have a closet in New York. Yay. I made it. Lee's gonna like take out like some scrap paper and like jot down like her personal address and like pass it to him.
All right, all right. I got a few boys living there. Not the best area, but hey, Night Market.
Better than being on the street, I suppose.
Oh yeah. So, Welma, downtime activities.
Yeah, I was wondering to do maybe try to do acquire an asset if that is possible.
Yeah,
wanna-
sure.
I want a service
Yeah.
by calling upon her sister to get information, maybe a more safer way to get the ectoplasm supply more, to be honest.
So why? So a service is, yeah. Usually you would just gather information to, for what you to suggest, that's usually not something that needs to be a downtime activity. That's just a gather information role.
Okay.
So you,
not information. Like I was kind of softening it. I really just want her to go get it. Like just get the ectoplasm for her, to be honest.
Oh, okay. So, okay, yeah. Sure, I can. All right. There are a few things here that are possible. So it's going to be a one-time thing.
Okay.
I'm going to say, okay, you can get it as kind of a fail-safe in case your next score doesn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
And you just get a little supply.
That's fine.
Or alternatively, you get the service of a gondolier or somebody else who helps you transport whatever your loot is next time.
Okay. Yeah, I think she'll call upon her sister to go get it. Like
Yeah.
even as a small spot, yeah.
So just a little batch of ectoplasm.
Yeah, something to hold them over while they plan for like the heist or
okay, yeah.
Making her think a little bit longer on the my sister. She wants to deal with that. Like head on or like sneaky.
Sure. Yeah, I'm going to say mechanically that's going to be like if you decide to do something completely different or the score just fails, you're still fine for a bit with the supply.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, sis.
But that means, yeah, you roll your 𝔗𝔢, which is 0. If you get a bad result here, that's going to mean that, some people might suffer some side effects. There might be another bad batch, but I'm not going to set a minimum result for you to actually get it. Yeah, so when you roll your 𝔗𝔢, I mean, you just roll a 0 die roll, yeah. So that's if you go to the roll some dice thing on the left, there is actually acquire an asset.
Okay. And I just 0?
Yeah. I mean, that's where you start.
Wow.
Oh, well.
So exciting. What was that? Can I do that one thing where we just redo it or something? What was that called?
I mean,
that
here's the
apply
thing. You
here?
can spend coin. But no. I'm going to say that I'm going to say that you can spend coin to get a higher quality batch here. But also, how likely is it that you really need it?
I don't think so. We're fine.
Yeah.
Which is
there
very
might be a
embarrassing to have a
few.
failure.
Yeah. I mean, you rolled 0 dice.
I know.
Anything else that you would like to do, or would you also like to train, or what's your preference?
Probably, I'm looking at my little list. Yeah, I think train, because she doesn't need to indulge in vice or anything. So train. Sorry,
What are you training?
Yeah, that's like I'm looking up the little train. Do you have any examples of some good old trainings?
Well, you just put an XP somewhere, honestly.
Okay.
I mean, do you have anything there? I think as Hawkers, you have a certain bonus there. I will need to check that real quick. If you don't know what you want, then okay, you have resolve training. But that, I mean, you can just give yourself an XP in resolve if you want.
Okay.
Or in your ability.
That's a good trend. I like my ability. I want a new ability, to be honest. So I'll train on a special ability.
So I think that mainly leaves Andre, who also trained something, I believe.
Yes. So while all of this has been going on, Andre has been downstairs with one of the dancers that goes by the name of Rena. And they've been helping Andre set up like a litany of candles. There are so many candles lit. And at this point, Andre is kind of like sitting crisscross applesauce on top of like not the desk, but like another like plush area that he has. And and as all of these lights are flickering, his eyes kind of flick back, but this time instead of them going white, they go all black. And he is channeling Astarte right now, and this is how he is training. And when he actually succeeds in it, all the flames flicker a little bit taller.
Yeah, Rena is there too, by the way.
Yeah, she's right here. 𝔤𝔤 walking in and out.
Did we lose? With?
Oh,
Oh,
we're
Wiz,
DMless.
this is really, really good. Like, are you frozen? Or are you just really good at
Yeah.
saying
Oh
stuff?
Oh,
no.
he's froze.
Was so shocked
no.
that Rita showed up.
Like,
This is
oh
dumb.
no.
Is Raina there? Yeah, and I'm pacing. It's like the shock value.
Oh.
I really want to clip that image.
Oh, you think I'm not? Excuse me, before he drops.
It's recorded.
Yeah, it's recorded. We got it all.
Yes.
I haven't stopped.
Oh.
No,
That
so
was
funny.
so funny. You making the Zoom chat canon made me die.
I'm so sorry.
I really
No,
want
that'd be-
Zoom
that's
chats
funny.
to be like running along the side of it, just for people to know the shit we put in there.
It just makes things easier because it's like we're not always on screen, but we're always doing some other shit anyway.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah, I do that with Dark Recess. We have our Discord voice chat.
Yeah.
It's a bit window that people can see, like where people put gifs or reactions, and I think it's fun because players like get to just be themselves in it, and I just like, that's your space, do it, like
Yeah.
whatever, as long as it's like no nothing over like PG-13 gifs, I'm fine,
yeah.
or AI or anything like that, we're fine. But oh, there we go.
What a
Yeah.
blast.
Yeah, well, we'll just crank you up there. It's like, don't start a fire. So,
Oh,
of course,
okay.
you have thousands of candles.
Not thousands.
You have thousands of candles with no ectoplasm. What kind of inventory
That's what I was
checklist are
thinking.
you doing?
I was thinking like Rena's just looking like, oh, we definitely stocked up on candles. Like, Andre made sure we had enough candles. But not
Listen. If there's one thing to have an upset Welma, you do not want to have an upset Astarte, okay? It will burn this
You know
whole
what?
place to the ground.
That's true. That's true.
Still
Okay.
think
That
the
will
bar
be
looks
even
so
more.
pretty. Candles lighting it all.
So pretty.
So,
Welcome back.
Look back.
then thing we're going to pick up again when we're talking about wellness training. So, because I made a mistake, I forgot to say that you actually get 2 Resolve XP if you train in Resolve because of a crew upgrade that Hawkers get.
Oh.
So as soon as we're recording, I don't know if we are still recording.
Yeah, we haven't
we are.
stopped.
Oh, okay,
for
okay,
so
good,
long.
okay. Yeah, so Wilma could get 2 XP in Resolve because you have a specific crew upgrade that you get automatically for being Hawkers,
Okay.
Ice Dealers. It's called Resolve training. It just means if you use your downtime to train Resolve, you get an extra point. Or you can spend your XP towards an extra playbook ability.
What are the 2 in Resolve?
Right.
Yeah.
Does that apply to both of us?
It applies to all of you. Everybody that
Okay.
wants to train in Resolve can do it, can get the extra point.
Yeah. I think she's just practicing her talking skills with any patrons in the establishment. Trying to keep herself happy.
Yeah.
Fake smiles. She'll deal with the basement in a moment.
So who actually was training in Resolve? Was it just Wilma or?
Yeah, it's just Wilma. I was
Except for
trying
mine
to
in playbook.
I was doing playbook.
I'm being the shit out of someone. Well, they're being the shit out of me.
And that's
Someone's
just
fighting.
that's just one downtime activity.
Yeah.
I think my other one is learning more about the nuns.
That's just gather information. You don't need to spend a downtime activity on that.
Oh, I don't. Okay, so I want to do this then. I
Yeah,
want to,
okay.
you know. Yeah.
How do you train your resolve? Is it just you train to fight, or what's your resolve
Don't
train?
get overtly angry all the time.
I think we
I don't.
saw that.
It is actively like trying to like hold her tongue on things and like not react first. I can think things through occasionally. How strange.
You can't.
Yeah.
We believe in you.
Wilma's cheering you on.
Can we train
So
two different things during a downtime? Or can we only train once?
you can only train once
Got it.
unless you spend reputation or coin on it for extra downtime activities.
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
Not yet.
So what is Andre doing?
So he is doing the training with the candles and channeling the Astarte. But I think he would also like to acquire an asset.
Just for editing reasons. Sorry, Moss.
Oh, we got to redo it all?
We redo the scene with Astarte.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So after Wilma does their things, we go down to the basement, and when you enter, you see that there are a litany of candles that have been put up and everything, and you see Andre down there, 𝔗𝔄s, and he is currently looking at another individual, one of the dancers, Rena, the favorite of the group. And while all of this is going on and the lights of the candles are flickering, Andre's eyes roll back in their head. And this time, instead of them going white, they go completely black, the same color as Astarte's. And he's channeling a little bit of Astarte's power. And at this moment, when he does get into her powers, the flames on the candles dance a little higher.
How does that feel to Andre?
Hot, very, very hot, which compared to the cold chill that he got earlier while someone was talking disparagingly against his character. This is great. This is a great feeling for him.
Also, that is good. Okay. It didn't sound entirely pleasant at first.
Oh no, it's one of those things. It's like it's not unwelcome, and he's asking for it himself. So this is great.
Right.
When she does it without his consent, it's a lot different.
Rena, you are watching this. Are you mainly paying attention to Andre, or are you also looking around around this little sanctum in the basement that Andre has built?
Rena's muted.
Yeah, you're kind of not coming through.
I mean, Rena would, as alert, always be looking around her surroundings. And they've seen Andre do this before. So they're just like, do your thing.
Yeah. Well, is there usually like some kind of arc to this, or is it a ritual that intensifies over time, or is it just that it's going to be a steady kind of situation here?
Right now, when it's completed, all of the candles would go out at the same time.
Well, we're getting up to that point. The candles are burning ever brighter. Little question for Rena. How is Rena with the whole Twilight and using your own supply?
'Cause Does Welma use the own supply?
Like special occasions.
Okay.
Or if anytime Central sneaks in a drink just to relax her or something.
Yeah.
With consent.
It's consent.
Yes.
It's I added with consent.
Yes, they are not one to imbibe. They, ever since they joined, well, when Welma found them, brought them in from their previous situation, they don't really need it, but they see it as part of the world. So they would kind of follow Welma's like plan. Okay, so if they're trying to make money, let's imbibe on just enough where we're not losing profit.
Right. So that means you're not constantly looking into the ghost field or anything like that unwantedly. So that would make what is about to happen a bit weirder. Because as this ritual intensifies and the flames intensify, suddenly you see faces appear in the walls of the basement. And then you see like half stepping out of the walls figures that, well, I mean, ghosts are ghosts, but these look ancient, like pre-cataclysm, when ghosts, as far as you know, didn't really exist. They look dressed in ancient togas. And they are just looking at Andre. Not at you at all. And then there's a presence. It's not something that you see really, but it's something that you feel. And suddenly also there's just, considering all the flames in this room, there's just a darkness in one of the corners of the room. And you feel it getting colder, and something is a bit different this time. The flames, as the ritual ends, just die down quicker. But as they do, these figures, these ghostly figures and the other presence just disappear entirely. I'm going to advance the angels are watching clock. And you can decide what you tell Andre about what just happened.
Rena, if she's on stage, she's wearing this pink corset gown with feathers and wings, and is known as velvet. But off stage, immediately, like as if she's taking off a mask, or if she's talking to a patron sitting on their lap, she'll have this like plastic smile and maybe a hand or two in a pocket or a wallet or a little bag of coin. But outside, the crew would see her as this just statuesque figure, very serious face, and nothing really scares her aside from the other side. Everyone kind of has this touch of it. And Andre is covered in like every, I don't know, they're stepping in between all the time. So for her, this is very confusing. And when she sees all these spirits come out, she would immediately try to get to Andre, thinking there's something happening, something about to happen. But the moment they open their eyes and they're like clear to them, they will usher just 3 words. Well, 4. We are not alone.
That felt different than the last times.
This is different. And they will describe the toga, the vision, the surrounding, and how they They only looked at you, Andre. Just you. They didn't care for me. Are we expecting company?
I was told that someone may be watching, but I did not expect them to be watching like this. Great. And with that, he's kind of unnerved a little, but he'll deal with that later when he's alone.
Yeah. For now, you do have business to take care of. There is either a house full of nuns or a Leviathan hunter waiting for you. And who knows? Maybe you'll even learn more there. But we'll get to that in the next session. So yeah. Thank you for playing. Thanks everybody for watching. I've been 𝔗𝔢 the DM here. As already mentioned, you cannot really find me anywhere. If you join the StarCrawl Discord, that's where you see me. It exists, so I exist there. So that's a possibility. Anyway, yeah, with he, him. Thanks again, and I hand it over to Sean.
Surely. Hi everyone, I am Sean. I go by he, him. I'm playing 𝔗𝔄, who's also he, him, and you can find me all over the internet at Help Action Needed. You could also listen to me on the podcast or follow the socials for lots of exciting projects that are coming up in the future. I'll pass it over to 𝔗𝔢.
Hello. Hi, my name is 𝔗𝔢. I played Andre. I use he, they. Andre also uses he, they pronouns. I'm slightly stressed because I can't even train in peace. The dang angels are watching. But yeah, if you enjoyed what I brought to the table today, you can find me across all of the internets at Brother 𝔗𝔢. That is BRUTHAQUEON. And yeah, I can't wait for next session, and I'm going to toss it over to Cosmic.
Hi, my name is 𝔗𝔢. You can find me on Twitter at @cosmic_𝔗𝔢 or Instagram at Natalie_Bonenparts. Pronouns are she, her. I've been playing Annalise, and I will go ahead and pass it on to Taylor.
Hey, I'm Taylor, aka Spunky Taylor. Been playing Wilma, she, her pronouns for both. Excited to work with demons and Emma sisters, like Wilma's own sister, all the sisters tonight. She'll be less cranky next time.
I'm sorry.
And y'all, I'm your producer for this wonderful mini-series here at StarCrawl. This is Blades in the Dark, and I am 𝔗𝔢 playing Rena. Well, didn't know it now, but now I do. One of the favorite dancers. Oh my god. Catch y'all next time. Bye.
Bye.